Welcome back to the STIHL MS channel. I want to give a review on my new STIHL MS 262C. It's a chainsaw I bought today. This is what it comes with, just like this. I got the 20-inch bar for it. You get the manual, and this is the 262CM. Get this little pouch, and in it you get star wrench and of course your chainsaw wrench. So keep all that in there. So a little bit of features about this saw. This is STIHL's Pro Saw. I believe it's the second or maybe the third one in the lineup. I know they got the 261C. I don't know if the 241's in the Pro lineup or not. But what makes it a Pro Saw is the magnesium base here, where the other farm and ranch and the homeowner saws are the plastic composite material. So this saw right here is magnesium constructed, and it's in two halves. So I believe I think the engine on this actually sets down in it, and it bolts between the two halves, and the plastic ones, I'm not really quite sure how they are mounted in there, but comes with the elasto start. So it's your pull rope, and then it's got this little rubber piece in there that's stretchy. So it's just not, it's a little bit softer when you pull it. Comes with the compression release button right here. Also is a quarter turn housing. There's 3 bolts. You turn them and removed it, and I've already got this one removed so I can show you all what the inside looks like. Now this is what they call the Electronically Ran Carburetor. So if you get on STIHL's YouTube page and search this, you can kind of see how it works. But what happens is there's some little chip down here in this flywheel, and as it spins, it goes past some sensor thing, and it monitors the atmosphere and different things, and the carburetor will self-adjust itself for optimum performance. So it's kind of neat. I've read a lot of forums about it. Some people don't like it and have issues with it, and some don't, and some say it's great. Now, I've been using this saw for a couple weeks now with 0 issues. It's ran just fine. Another pro feature you get on the Pro Saws is this big air filter. Instead of it being like the paper film like you're used to on the regular saws, this is kind of more like a car type air filter. So easy spin on, spin off. Another thing that the Mtronic engine has that the carbureted engines that you adjust that's different is this new Mtronic engine has a 3-position switch, It's the classic 4 position. So you know, when you come over here and go to start it, you'd push it down to full choke, pull on it till it fires off once, and then you click it up to half choke, and then you start it. This saw now, to start it, all you got to do is squeeze the trigger when it's cold, push it down to the start mode, and it'll start. Then if it's warm, it's always default in start mode, so you don't have to, it auto springs back down, and once you kill it, it goes back to start, so you don't have to do anything as long as it's warm, except for pull the rope. So that's kind of nice feature on that. Like I said, you know, you've probably seen some of my videos about working on these carburetors and on some of the weed eaters and stuff, and you know, I can kind of work on those and change them out, but I probably won't be, if I have to work on this, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as any repairs. Hopefully I don't have to do any. I hear it's pretty expensive if you have to replace any of this stuff, but unfortunately looks like that's what they're kind of going to on the bigger saws, is this more electronic stuff. I mean, which is fine with me as long as it works great. I am have no issues with electronic stuff as long as it works. But like I said, it no issues for me on it. I mean, it's a good wood cutting saw. It'll eat right through a log, no problem. A couple other things here. You got your air block off for winter and summer, so you just can turn this upside down for winter to get some of that hot engine air back in through the carburetor. So it's still summertime here, so I leave it in this position so it doesn't suck more hot air back in. That's about it under here. Oh, they've redone the anti-vibration system. It's a little bit better on these saws now than some of the older ones. They got some springs and stuff in here instead of the old rubber grommets. So it's nice, these little quarter turn deals here as far as getting to it to do anything, versus having to have your star wrench to take anything off. A couple other things. It's got a adjustable oiler, so you can have either less oil or more oil. You could turn it up for more oil depending on what chain, if you're running the 25-inch chain. But some people say that this thing doesn't oil enough, but I'm running the 20-inch 3/8 chain. It seems to be oiling it just fine. Now this is the 2018 model, and some of those forums I was reading on were from, you know, 2016, so maybe they've STIHL's made some improvements. I don't know. I mean, I really can't tell you much. This saw's new to me. I don't know hardly much about the Mtronic stuff or any of that, but apparently they got a couple different models that were some were made in the US. This model I got is actually made in Germany, and some of the people say that the German made ones were a little bit better than the US made ones, which I probably wouldn't doubt. It probably is better. Another feature that I really like about this saw is this right here. So if you're ever out in the field and you need to change your chain or take your cover off for whatever reason, you know, you got your little bar nuts here. And I don't know how many of you, like myself, have been out in tall grass and taken these off and crap, I dropped one. You spend 30 minutes looking for it. But now they've came up with this new design that I really like, that keeps these from falling out. So that's one of the probably my favorite thing about this. So like I said, I'm running the 3/8 chain and 20-inch bar. I'll show you a couple more things on here for the Pro Saw. This is metal too, instead of plastic. It's got a wood chip deflector piece of rubber here. So they got a couple little extra things. They got this, I'm not even sure what this part's called, the sprocket, but this little piece right here, you know, like the farm and ranch and the homeowner versions don't have this little piece on the sprocket. If somebody knows what it's called, I'm sure they can leave a comment and tell you all what it is. I can't think of it offhand right now. They got the little metal shield here. Other saws don't have that. So if there's anything I missed, hopefully somebody will leave a comment, let you all know on the difference on the Pro Saws. But we have a couple of the Farm and Ranch. We got the MS 290 Farm Boss, and which actually I'm going to be selling. The ranch just purchased two of these 262s here, and we'll be purchasing one of the 261Cs as well when they get some more back in stock. And we're actually selling our older ones. So I'm selling my STIHL 260 Pro, and the we got a Farm and Ranch 310 and the Farm and Ranch 290 Farm Boss. And so the main difference between those is, of course, the body of it here. How this is magnesium, and those are plastic. So I mean, we haven't had any issues out of the Farm and Ranch. They work great, but we've been clearing a lot of brush here lately, and we just needed a couple bigger saws. So we went out and bought some new ones. No sense of having 7 chainsaws out here for only a few of us. So we'll be selling them. And of course, those we were all running the 325 chain, so on them saws. This is the yellow dotted bar, so it comes with that, which means it's not a low kickback bar. STIHL recommends the all the low kickback stuff. That way, you know, people that aren't experienced threaded chainsaws don't get themselves hurt when the saw kicks back on them. So it did come factory with the yellow bar, which means it has a narrower nose on it, which is funny because it came with the yellow dotted bar, but it came with the green dotted chain, so it's a low kickback chain on a non-low kickback bar, which is kind of weird. You think if you sell a yellow dotted bar that you'd put the yellow dotted chain on it, but I guess they just don't want to run the risk of somebody not knowing what those dots and stuff mean and getting themselves hurt. But I did buy an extra chain. It's the yellow dotted chain, so it doesn't have the reduced kickback feature. I mean, they're okay, the anti-reduced kickback chains, but if you're experienced at running a chainsaw, then you know what I'm talking about when you go from the green to the yellow. It gets a lot more aggressive cut and cuts a lot faster. So anyways, if you guys are wondering about what these new chainsaws are, I'm sure there's other YouTube videos on them on YouTube here, but just want to kind of give you my review of it, since you guys seem to enjoy the STIHL videos. And I'll go ahead and give it a start here in just a second. Now I'm going to start it up so you can see it run. So like I was saying earlier, this always defaults to the on position. So if you're going to start it from a cold engine, put it all the way down into start. Lock your bar. So I just turned it off, and now it's going to spring back to start. So as long as your saw's warm, it'll start from right here. So if you're out cutting wood and you turn it off for a minute and then you need to start it back up, this is nice, so you don't have to go back and turn it off. See, like my older 260 Pro here, you got the off and on, so if I was cutting wood, I turned it off, pick my saw back up, I gotta click this back down to start, and then start it. Now with this one, it's ready to go again. So, like I said, I've been happy with it. No issues thus far. If anybody has a saw like this, it's been running it for more than a couple weeks, maybe a year or two, feel free to comment, let me know what you think of it, how you like the Electronically setup. Like I said, I don't have any experience with this style of carburetor. I know it's been out for some time, but this is the first of the new saws that I've ever experienced running. So if you have any issues on your saw, like I said, leave them in the comments. I'd like to know, that way I can maybe look for something. If I start having an issue, I can kind of know where to look from some of you guys that may or may not have had any problems with yours. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.